Welcome to the MTI Show. I'm Mike the Investor. Now, in today's video, I want to touch on a couple different things, just my honest thoughts about a few things. Number one, I do want to talk about me taking responsibility for being wrong about Voyager, which essentially made me wrong on the VGX token as well, because what Voyager does affects the VGX token. So I was wrong about it. And there were some people that were saying, hey, Mike, Voyager's not the answer. Mike, Voyager, you're wrong about. Mike, Voyager, you're wrong about. Mike, Voyager, you're wrong about, right? So there's people that said that, and I want to say, hey, at this point in time, you are absolutely right. I was absolutely wrong. So I'm saying that here on the record and just, taking responsibility for being wrong, on an investment, right? But one thing I do want to say, we still all invested for ourselves personally, right? I never invested for anyone personally, and you guys didn't invest for me either, right? So we still have to take accountability for our own personal actions. For example, let's say you go to, one of your favorite restaurants and the waitress or the server comes out and say what you normally get when you go there, it's now half off today, and they offer it to you. So now, yes, you have influence and favor to get that and an incentive because it's half off, but you may want something different that day. So you still have to make that decision on what you actually want to do. And so even before all of this transpired with Voyager, 1 month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, we still chose to either use Voyager or keep assets on there because we trusted Voyager as an individual, and it turned out not to be the best thing. So at the end of the day, yes, I'm taking responsibility for being wrong about Voyager, which made me wrong on the VGX token, but we still all made that decision for ourselves. Now let's kind of move into the misconception about things, right? People are saying, well, Mike, you got paid to shield Voyager. Well, let's clear that up. I didn't get paid anything to talk about Voyager. The only thing that I had was a referral link, which everyone had as well that had a Voyager account. So if someone used my referral link or they used another YouTuber's or just someone random's or even yours, I got 25 in Bitcoin, so did they. If someone used your personal referral link, you got 25 in Bitcoin, so did they. So I didn't get anything extra. I didn't have any partnership. I didn't have any brand or any business ties to Voyager, right? And so when I brought on 𝗬𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗖𝗔𝗍, that was only possible because I met the Voyager team at last year's 2021 Bitcoin conference. And so I was able to gain some rapport with them. And at the time that I met them, I said, hey, I would love to have you on the show. So brought him on the show. He was on the channel twice, and I brought him on to hopefully bring us, clarity and more alpha about what's coming next for Voyager, right? It had nothing to do with being persuaded or influenced to talk about it. Voyager was a company and an investment I wholeheartedly believed in, which is why I was building a public portfolio on Voyager, which is why my assets is now in jeopardy like some of you, which is why I invested well over 30K in VGX. I'm not going to see that back, right? And so I'm in a position like you guys. I honestly believed in Voyager. I was thinking 100% for myself, so I'm standing on that. I was just wrong. It is what it is. I can't change it, but I also don't have any control, what Voyager does as far as like their everyday business. We had no idea this is what was going on. I have no control of Voyager when it comes to that. So once again, about the misconception, there was, a lot of crazy things, nasty and negative things that was said to me, down in the comment section. And so just wanted to kind of clear up some of the misconception, because at the end of the day, some people was like, hey, Mike, I bet you and Voyager and the team and 𝗬𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗖𝗔𝗍, y'all made out with any losses. That's one of the most stupidest things I've heard. I have no ties to them. I'm in the same position as other people that have their assets in jeopardy, right? I had no ties to them. This was a company I believed in, and it turned out to be a bad investment at this point. You know what I'm saying? That's the honest truth. So for you guys to say that, whether it's a male or a woman, that's coming from pure hate or pure trolling. And so I just kind of wanted to clear that up, because I'm not going to engage in that, in the comment section, that sometimes things don't come out the way it needs to be perceived when you're, typing. And so I at least wanted to touch on this for those people, right? There's still going to be people, I get it, that's upset, that need to vent, that's mad, because I'm losing a lot of money on Voyager as well. VGX wasn't the only asset I had on Voyager. I had other assets on Voyager that I couldn't actually transfer off. So I get it. I'm in that same position, but I trusted in Voyager just like you trusted in Voyager. Now I get it. Influence is one of the most powerful things in the world. But at the same time, influence does help a person favor a decision, but influence doesn't force a person, right? That person still has to make that decision for themselves, right? And so we still have to take accountability for our own personal actions. I'm taking accountability right now for you, talking about, hey, I was wrong about Voyager. For those that said I was wrong at the beginning, at this point in time, you're absolutely right. But hey, at least I'm standing on what I said. There's a lot of people that can't even do this, right? So I'm getting backlash based off of what Voyager did as a business, even though I have no control over what they do. But that's life. So I just want to put that out there. But now the last thing I want to touch on is my honest thoughts, right, on Voyager. I've kind of touched on it in some of the previous videos, keeping the community up to date, but I haven't just like focused on it, right? So I'm not gonna cuss out the company or anything of that nature, but yes, I'm hella pissed about what's going on. I think it was terrible, terrible business management. And just to be completely honest, letting the wall down, I think it was dumb as hell. Why would you lend out those assets to one of the most riskiest companies and then don't even have at least 75% or 80% collateral to get that back? That was dumb. A dumbass move. Let's just call it what it is. So am I happy about that? Absolutely not. I'm pissed. But at the same time, if I dwell in that, how do I help the other people that's trying to move past this? And also, I'm just not built like that anyway. This is a lesson learned. You know, I still use other crypto platforms, Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com, KuCoin, right? But I wasn't leaving assets on those platforms. I use those exchanges to kind of move things around, fiat to crypto or crypto to fiat. Me leaving assets on Voyager turned out to be a terrible, terrible mistake. And so I'm hella pissed about Voyager. We are either not going to see anything back or we're going to see a percentage of what we had on that platform. So either way, we are most likely probably going to see a loss, in my opinion, unless something else comes out of the woodworks. I have no idea based off of what the information is now. So probably the people who have USD on the platform, they're probably the ones in the best position, because they have the best chance of, getting that money back because it's FDIC insured. But people who had crypto assets on it, like myself, we're probably going to get the short end of the stick. That's just kind of the reality of things. We won't know until things happen, but at this time, we're kind of just, stuck on what's going on. So I know this is kind of like a longer video, but I at least wanted to get things out there and just at least let people know that I do care, but I'm also in the same position as you, right? I talked about a company that I wholeheartedly believed in, and they freaking disappointed me. And this is why I held assets on there. This is why I was investing in assets on Voyager and leaving it on there, because I believed in them. And turned out it wasn't the best thing to do. So yeah, I'm pissed about it, but hey, I got to move forward, because there's no way I'm going to let this kill my crypto spirit. If you don't believe it, hear from me. Crypto is still the cheat code. And one thing I do want to say, even though I've talked about, Voyager, I've also mentioned multiple times, having a ledger, having your own wallet, also not keeping all your assets on an exchange. I even done tutorials on certain DeFi protocols on how to use swaps and how to exchange things. Like, I've always talked about this. I've always talked about it. Right? So we have to take accountability as well. 6 months before this happened, a year before this happened, we still chose to trust Voyager as individuals. And it turned out not to be the best thing. That's the reality. Yeah, I take responsibility for being wrong on an investment, absolutely. That's on me. But at the same time, that's what I believed in. And guess what? This is why I invested well over 30K in just VGX itself. Am I going to see that again? Most likely not. So I just wanted to put that out here and just kind of let you guys know, like, you know, where I'm coming from, and just also wanted to address the responsibility thing. You just, you know, as a YouTuber, talk about some of the misconception. And I get it. There's still going to be things out there. There's still going to be people that's upset. I understand. I get it. I get it. And then the third thing, just my honest thoughts on Voyager, man. You know, I'm pissed. Disappointed in the CEO, 𝗬𝗓𝗏, disappointed in the whole company. Because guess what? Now some of you are mad at me for what they did, even though it's not necessarily my fault, but that's the game of life. That's what it is. And also, before we get out of here, there is currently like a little pump going on with VGX. You can see it's up over 400% in the past 24 hours. So if you are familiar on what's going on with that, you know, let us know down in the comment section. I'm not exactly sure, you know, why VGX is seeing that pump, but, you know, if you are familiar, got maybe, you know, any alpha or any rumors on that, let us know down in the comment section. But I at least just wanted to touch on that. Make this video. Are you happy I made this video? Are you glad I spoke up about this? Are you glad to just kind of hear where I'm coming from? You know, hey, let me know down in the comment section, right? But hey, I want all of us to win. If you're still in crypto, we're going to make it through this. You're still one of the few. You're still one of the few that's in crypto. I still believe crypto is the cheat code. And also listen to this. Because of what's happened with exchanges, Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, and others, this just goes to show how early we truly are still in crypto. So don't give up thinking that it's over. This just shows us how early we truly are, which also shows us how much opportunity is still in crypto. So if you didn't get anything else from the video, please replay that, because I'm telling you, things may look the worst. Bear markets and things like this does bring out the worst in people if you let it, but this is where the opportunity resides. So hey, thanks for tuning in to the MTI show. I will see you on the next one.